Welcome back, friends, lovers, enemies of Jeffree Star. Obviously. What have I done today? I have definitely, completely watched the latest Tati Westbrook video. So, obviously, this is kind of about that. I'm Italian, and I must apologize for my bed not being completely made. Suddenly a little Russian, because Bulby decided he was gonna sit on my bed right before I start filming. Cute, fun, love it, but now he's gone, so I can make it nice. Sorry for the adjustment. So I'm not here to catch you up on the Tati, James, Jeffree, Shane drama, because I'm assuming you clicked on this video because you already knew. And if you didn't click on this video for that reason, hi. I will link good videos that are comprehensive and explain everything. And yeah, go watch those. Pause this and then come back. Let's discuss. So I was talking to my friend Sophie about the videos and was like, wait a damn minute.
Wait a damn minute. Wait a damn.
So I was talking to my friend Sophie earlier, and we were like, damn, why'd this even happen in the first place? Not the actual events, but something deeper than that. Something that's in the title of this video. Why has it become Tati and James against Shane and Jeffree? What is it about these four people that made them great collaborators and great enemies? Well, I'm about to blow your mind completely. Okay? So, let's start with number one, Tati. She was born on my birthday. Same birthday. We might be twins. Just kidding. She was born in 82, so she's way too old. So what does that make me and Tati? Aquarii. So what is it that we need to know? What's vital information about Aquarii? Well, Aquarius is a very free-spirited sign. It is an air sign. Aquarii are very much invested in justice. Ding, ding, ding. That's an important point. They also feel this need to be trailblazers, and they are creative. They're very creative. They're known for being aliens. So if that doesn't explain a lot about me, I don't know what will. I don't know how much that explains about Tati, other than the justice part. So then, James Charles. I know we can't trust anyone with two first names, but I think we're gonna have to give James a pass for the moment because he is a Gemini. And what do we know about Geminis? They're amazing to date. They are incredible. Every Gemini I've ever dated is amazing. Geminis are really big on communication, which is just the thing that I always think about. Although that doesn't necessarily have much to do with James Charles, because one, I've never dated James Charles and I never will. And two, Tati wasn't dating him. So what do we know about Geminis? Geminis are creative and eclectic, things that are pretty common among all air signs. However, Geminis are very mutable, as opposed to Aquarius, which is a fixed sign, meaning I'm independent. But Geminis are mutable, so they are a little bit more bendable to the winds of change and stuff like that. Some of the things about Gemini is sometimes they can come across a little superficial, and since the sun rules the ego, it can kind of like lead to Geminis being like a little, they can come off as a little like standoffish sometimes, which then makes it seem like they are like self-centered, you know? So I think that makes a little bit of an understanding of what happened during Dramageddeon 2 when James was like, Bulby has decided it's time to attack some flies that are on my window. Like, this kind of helped in making James like a great target because he was sort of this like really successful young person who can come across as like egotistical. You know what I'm saying? Yes. Cool. Then it's time to move on to, now we need to move on to the two people that we are going to cancel. Why are we going to cancel them? Because they're water signs. Blech. Hi, Remy. Yeah. See that tail? It's amazing. Yeah, so why do we hate water signs? Because water signs and air signs don't go well together. Name any explosive breakup. It was probably with a water sign. And probably with a water sign and an air sign because they don't go together. What do we know about Jeffree Star? He's a Scorpio. Or at least, maybe you learned that now. What do we know about Scorpios? They are horny as hell. Sorry. I hate to hear it. I hate to see it. But it's true. But also, like, they're so goddamn stubborn. But, like, only about the things that are, like, that impact, like, their egos. They have a hard time really, like, changing their perceptions of themselves. And also, like, changing their behavior that would then impact their perception of themselves. Elsa, I'm looking at you. I love Elsa, but she is a Scorpio and therefore canceled. Scorpio is also a fixed sign, which is probably helpful in how he was able to relate to Tati. Important. Scorpios are also, like, very focused and driven. Some positive things. Here are some negative things about Scorpios. I want you to know that I am looking at a resource because I was like, I don't want to like just make things up because I know some things about astrology, but I'm not a genius. And Scorpios are like really self-destructive. They are cruel sometimes, you know, like not all the time. These aren't like all the time things. This is like they can be positive in these ways, and sometimes they also exhibit negative features. They can also be manipulative. They can be controlling and possessive, although I would say not as controlling and possessive as Pisces. And I'm not going to bring Pisces into this because they aren't involved. But you know who is involved? Cancer. Who is Cancer? Who is a Cancer? On YouTube. YouTube's whole vibe is being mutated by this cancerous individual. I'm just kidding. Shane Dawson is a Cancer. So, let's think about that. What are Cancers known for? Crying. That's why he's canceled. I don't want to see him cry. I don't want to see a Cancer cry. I don't want to talk to a Cancer again. So, what are some things about Cancers that make them oh so cancelable? They are sensitive. They are overly sensitive. And boy, oh boy, do they like to use that against you. I've known many a Cancer who has ruined a relationship because they are bad at managing their emotions. So some other things about Cancers are that they can be nurturing and like nice and caring in that way. But also, they can be super selfish. Let's look at this for a moment. Let's, peel back the layers. Now that we've seen the individual parts, a Gemini, an Aquarius, a Cancer, and a Scorpio. 2 air signs, vibe. It's a good vibe. 2 water signs. It's a bad vibe all around. Water signs are, only compatible with earth signs and, barely. Here's the real tea, which is that air signs and water signs are natural enemies. I am so sorry if Avatar: The Last Airbender fooled you on that front. because I was fooled on that for a long, long time. Air signs are like really just compatible with each other, which makes sense as to why Tati and James were friends in the first place and were able to reconcile fairly easily. This is really more of like an emphasis on the likelihood of the things that happened, as opposed to the, like, I guess like a prediction of the actual events that transpired. No. But the sort of established characteristics of these types of people and their resulting interactions with each other makes a little bit of sense. So since Cancers, Shane Dawson, are so sensitive and like they're needy. Like they are, I'm sorry, they just are. It makes sense that a like calculating Scorpio who is like more calculating and manipulative than most would be able to use those traits on a Cancer who's already like pretty willing to do whatever is necessary to maintain relationships around themselves and also to like make everyone else around them happy so that everyone stays with them in their life and like is on their side. Also kind of makes a little bit of sense why Shane Dawson has become unhinged recently, whereas Jeffree Star, the Scorpio, has sort of become really reclusive in the last week, days, and is reserving public comment for a time when he can be as calculated as is possible in order to maintain his, I guess, sort of social status and also like public favor. Because he had it once and he wants it back. I don't know as much about the relationships between like Scorpio specifically with Aquarius other than like my personal relationships where like none of us are manipulative, so like can't really even use that as like yes, anecdotal evidence. Nah, like I can't. Like same with Cancer. Hopefully that's a little insightful as to how everything was sort of like pre-prepared by the stars to set Tati and James up with a friendship that could then be torn apart by some water signs, and how their like, you know, predisposition to being bonded to each other was already pretty high, so they were able to reconnect. Also, you know what this means about Tati being an Aquarius, being born on Valentine's Day, my birth? It means that when James was in Seattle for Tati's birthday dinner, it was Valentine's Day. So he was feeling romantically lonely more than other days of the year. Let's let that one sink in. Anyways, I know that this is just like fun and silly and blah, blah, blah. Please withhold all real judgment on these individuals until any potential sexual assault victim of James, like if that's real, which who even knows, because we've been given a lot of seeds of doubt, but also because a lot of the players in the scenario are liars, as we already know. Like, we should wait to see if someone is going to be like, yes, this is my story, this is what happened. Otherwise, I feel like it's really hard to sort of determine whether, like, what actually happened to James. Of course, you are inclined to feel however about any one of these individuals or the allegations, but I would urge everyone to sort of, like, withhold, like, online statements of, like, what you actually think has transpired, especially because it's very clear that Tati is going to be taking both Jeffree and Shane to court, and it seems pretty obvious that anyone else who was involved in them sort of manipulating her is going to be very likely subpoenaed. Yeah, so I feel like the court of public opinion is not needed here. We shouldn't do that to any one of them again. I know I was very hard on water signs. It's because I hate water signs. I have a very strong personal vendetta against them, and I hate to see them. I'm sorry. Sorry to Elsa. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope that you will go to the link down below with resources for petitions, donations, bail funds, protests for the Black Lives Matter movement, because this is still happening, and it's going to happen for a long, long time. Why? Because there hasn't been racial justice in the United States ever. Not once. Not one time was there ever. Ending police violence is more important than this. I'm sorry. Like, it's got larger macro importance in terms of social justice and seeking justice for many people. Thanks for watching. All of my links are down below. Go follow, blah, blah, blah. And I'll see you next time. Mamma mia, here I go again. My